Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. We're going to be trying to break our 8K population goal here during this stream. We got about 500 more to go. The biggest, I think, easiest to work with lever we got right now is retirement. One thing we're struggling with is we're actually struggling to make enough food. So I'm thinking the first thing we're actually going to do, sort of counterintuitively, is we're going to drop fulfillment in the form of dropping food servings, which is actually going to make people angry. It's going to make the city harder to grow in the short run, but should solve food shipments throughout the city, which should, from an access or from a service standpoint, provide us more bonus from food stalls and restaurants. So that's what we're going to first start off doing. The other thing we're going to be continuing to do is expand, obviously, the retirement system. So we're going to build up more retiree places, which will let us hopefully have more people in the city. The drawback, of course, of bringing more people in is that they'll be eating more food, which is why we're going to drop in the food supply ratio to start with here. Although I am open to trying to get more fishermen in, there isn't necessarily a lot of good places for us to expand to. We got here, we got a little bit in here, a little bit I can do in here. Technically here it's expanding up to here. But you notice we're starting to fill up the river. Maybe some of the fisheries over in the more industrialized area over here could be pushed in a little bit as well. But yeah, we're starting to reach the point where less and less fish is going to be available from an expandability standpoint. So we're reducing how much food. Probably should have done fulfillment before food, let's just say. We have enough health, so hopefully this isn't going to bite us in the butt as we drop the food, because the other thing the food is providing is a health bonus. So let's start off fairly small. Do half tick off both humans and amphibians. We're going to do double tick off of the Dondorians. We're going to see how that handles while we let some time pass. Again, we're building up another rest home. And in theory, we're food positive. Although I think that's down to consumption being throttled by it not being distributed properly throughout the city. And we got a rest home wheeling over here, we got constructions wheeling over here. At some point I think we'll start building rest homes down south. I think that's all the rest homes we want up north. Yeah, the fishing places. This is nice rich soil band in here. So I want to leave that open from farming. And once we're past that point, we're probably better off just building south of the main city instead of up near the food sources. That doesn't mean we'll have to ship food more and more south, but we, in theory, are equipped to do that with the unloading station here, for example. So look, say use the sand and the till over here as a place to build the rest home community. Going forward. We should be seeing, now that we've cut that food service, we should be seeing the food servings drop. So we're going to not want to grow the humans very much. The amphibians are probably actually going to be growing because we've fully retired the amphibians at this point. Or at least set them to be fully retired. Estimated retirees is 76, they need 73 for full bonus, so we have more of them migrating in, so we'll have to watch it over time. Because in theory we want to get to like 370 something plus retirees. Now, I'm going to take the risk that we can expand quickly enough. I'm going to drop the food servings on the Dondorians as well. They're the biggest food consumers, simply because they're the largest portion of the population. And then out on the world map, we're waiting for other empires to become unstable and decline. We're not strong enough to conquer any of our neighbors. There's maybe an argument that some of our biggest cities could go up another size. The ones that are up in the 0.8, 0.9 moisture level, we could probably squeeze them to go up another size. Although that would, if we go into technology, that would require us having Organization 3. Which is another 50 knowledge, If we actually hit the goal of getting to 8k population, that would actually be easy to do. Because we'll get that. If we sort of hit our goals, we'll get 50 more knowledge, 50 more innovation. Okay, everything's been delivered for the building. Oh, granted. I think we swapped the rest homes over to being built in mud, so... I guess they've just finished going around clearing the foundations, then. The interior stuff hasn't been delivered, but the interior stuff can't be delivered until the exterior is complete. So I can double check. Do we have enough hospital services? No, we're a little short. Target's actually 101 now. Might make sense to have a hospital over here. Yeah, that's where the closest one is. That makes sense. Another one over here. Give the retirees a place where they can get some medical attention if they need some. Might use another rest home in here. We'll think about it. So I might, in theory, hydrate this area to become a small forest for wood collection. But I don't think we necessarily want to go... Well, I suppose the way to check is, do we have enough housing for things in the local area? Maybe we do need to push the housing a little farther west. Might want to put some housing on the island in here. Although if I do that, I'll have to put a market and food stalls in there as well. Yeah, so reducing the food consumption has definitely helped. We're starting to see food stockpiling expanding more. Although the big thing is, are we seeing food reliably getting delivered down here? I think the answer is no, because we're prepared deliveries for 4. The other thing to look at is access, or service access on the food stalls. That's improving, but it's still not good enough. So I suspect we haven't adequately flushed the system with more food. One thing to potentially be able to do for food expansion is I could... At the moment, we're basically making mostly on-map fish. We're making little meat as a side effect of making cotton, making fiber. Which, well, at this point we're getting a lot from the barbers, so we don't necessarily need as much being grown. I think the Dondorians want mushrooms, so we can do mushrooms in the mountains, and then out in the open, like all this fertile land down here, all the rich land down here, we can do wheat into bread. Because the Kryptonians want bread, I believe. Yeah, both Kryptonians and humans want bread. And obviously more bread would not be terrible. Bread's pretty easy to produce. And humans want meat, bread. Actually, well, humans get some bread. They also want eggs. Eggs are probably only make sense for us to import, unless we're going to bring more Mivians in to do Glomdine farming, Glomdine pasturing as well. Okay, so we got 402 fishery jobs, and we obviously don't have 402 Mivians. What's our retiree rate on the Mivians right now? 75. So 75 plus 402. So let's say we want the actual target here to be 40 or 480. It's gonna take a while for them to get up there because their migration is slowing down. I think we've sort of saturated the supply of them this far north. We could technically start setting up hatcheries and stuff like that to grow a population, but that's a good way to potentially get the city unstable. And if I was to do that, I'd really want to do schools, which is a lot more paper. And our paper supplies are paper into the administration, and that's about it. And honestly, we could do with more administration too, which is arguably more paper. We need more paper to make the administration better, so the administration can make the paper better. Okay, so we got another rest home done, so we've got another potential to accept another 80 retirees. Okay, so I've just set up more retirees, and there's retiree spots. My goal is to get up to 320. I could put one in there. I think I'll hold off putting another one up here. Let's copy and paste one of you guys. We're gonna go south of the city. You want a retirement home in there? I don't think that would be too bad. We'll put one there. And yeah, we're at the loyalty level where the Dondorians aren't actually moving in anymore, which is why it seems like the Dondorian population is declining, is because it is. That's what's going on. How much over-fulfillment are we on for you guys? We really aren't. We're just getting a 10% bonus from titles. Okay. Although that maybe seems... let's drop the food levels again. Yeah, the problem I'm most likely going to run into with dropping the food levels is that we don't have enough... Nope, we're about to have another disease wave hit the city. Might not have enough... health without the food bonus. In fact, I'm pretty sure we don't have enough health without the food bonus. So that might come back to bite us in the butt in a little bit. Although I could do a little bit more position coverage. Wouldn't be too bad. Where are my positions? That's a crypt. I want some more crypts. That's a hospital. Physician. Did I copy paste a physician up here, not a hospital by accident? No. Either way, we probably want another physician over there based on the fact I saw we didn't have any coverage over here. So one physician over there. Let's check coverage before I think about just plopping them in more for more capacity. Okay, so we could probably do some over here. West side of the city. What about the bottom side of the city? Bottom side of the city could use some as well. Especially if we're planning on putting rest homes down there. You'd imagine the old would have some health concerns. A renowned priest of Shimalor arrived in the city. The Garmethi priest of Shimalor has arrived in the city, clad in the traditional robes of his faith, complete with holes to display where his carapace was scarred in battle. He wastes little time on pleasantries and has come to warn you of a crusading army of Garmethi According to them, they will likely leave in peace if at least part of the city's or part of the population convinced the Shamorans. The priest could help with convincing. The deniability is paper thin, which the priest could help, but throwing a high-ranking priest to Shamor into shackles would be very unwise. So I could allow the preaching, I could imprison him, or I could refuse. We're not going to allow the preaching. I'm not going to go so far as to imprison him. We're going to refuse. Go away. After hearing refusal, the priest of Shamor leaves the city and heads in the direction of the Garmethian army, shortly after we receive reports of them being on the march. These citizens are happy about you preventing another faith from taking root here. Okay, so we may have an army invading. We have an army invading. 101 soldiers. I think our 546 will handle that reasonably well. Oh, they're not even that particularly well equipped. We got one batch of archers in the middle, so we'll want to jump the archers as quickly as we can, but then that should be pretty smooth sailing. Okay, leave the one behind. Take the two with good armor and equipment. Make them the main battle line. The small but reasonably well-equipped unit on the right. Flanking, and the really large one on the left. We'll put them in loose formation. Again, sort of do flanking. And then we start. And I suppose we just order the entire formation to move forward to start. We've got arrows, so we want to attack pretty quickly here. That's their archer unit, those are the two melees. Oop, enemy unit's already breaking. We haven't even engaged the last stack of them. Still one engaged there? No. Oh no, that's the other one breaking. Yeah, okay. Didn't even get to properly do proper hammer and anvil tactics on these guys where they broke. But yeah, we won with 0 casualties. So yeah, I think it was the right call to not allow conversion. And we didn't need to imprison them. We could just sell them now, go away. And that worked. We won't take prisoners, we will take the weapons away from them. Once mighty Orlean the Defiler lies dead at your feet, O mighty one, this will certainly send a powerful message to all 6. Okay. So we can see... Although we've got a happiness bonus, right? There's I think one of the temporary bonuses you can get in environment? No, it's just a temporary event bonus. If you have an emergency like that where your city is attacked, you get a temporary happiness bonus, which we have, and should hopefully... I need to try not to get too attached to. Although we are going to still let more people come in, because apparently we have a odd jobber shortage of 200 people. Try to cover the odd jobber shortage. We just let those people in. Let's see if, first of all, if they can find enough housing, and second of all, if they solve the problem before we let more in. In the meantime, I should look for where we have a shortage of housing, and probably do housing upgrades rather than building more houses right away. I'm surprised. It's mostly where we're doing more fisheries. Although that kind of tracks. It's mostly where we're doing more fisheries. My graveyard's full. I should check. Not completely full. Although the grave diggers might be having difficulty keeping up. The mass graves are also not full. Although, oh, so I could do some down in the extremities, I suppose. Yeah, I could do some down in the extremities. Yeah, I think I'm trying to take another 100 people in, see if we can use that to fix the odd jobber shortage for the moment. So I brought 110 in, but that'll work. Oh, and the pandemic's hit. I should, I think is it? No, just having criminals go up. Different problem. It's reading the two numbers. This is crime, this is health. Okay. So our retiree system just expanded. Another 80 retirees we can support. Our target is 1,500, so need a few more than that. Thinking about physicians again. Let's not click on that one because I wanted to see the overlay. So we've got one down here, although it looks like it's starting to heat up, so I should probably get like 2 more physicians in. Yeah, the only place where we've got adequate physicians is over there, apparently. But all the neighborhoods could do a little bit more, one way or the other. See how that rolls out. And then hospital-wise, we didn't have full service coverage for the hospitals, right? They want a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. About 70 out of 106 hospital workers. So it's actually like 5 more of these. Do we have any places that specifically don't have great coverage? Complaints down south, complaint down in Mining Town. Okay. Put another one in there. So 1, 2, 3. How many did I put in? 1, 2, 3. Chemicals here. 1, 2, 3. No, those are Marstroms. I put 1 in here. 4. 4. Okay, so that's not going to quite be enough to get the hospital service to 100%, but that's good enough, I think, for the moment. Actually, more interested in the physician improvement because that will help with health, which obviously we need because we're about to have we're having the middle pandemic here. In theory, we're being told we can have more people moving. I'm going to go up to full 6,000 here. Nope, there we go. We actually hit the, because apparently we have 100% loyalty right now. So we got 8,000 people in the city, got 50 knowledge, 50 innovation, another 16 promotions. Go ahead and pick up Organization 3 with the 50 knowledge. What do I want to spend 50 innovation on? No, it would make sense to finish to do food. Makes sense to do food, of course. We're actually about 3 to 1 on the innovation workers, so fishing tools isn't too bad. Let's do the fishing tools. First fishing tools, that's the only one we're going to be able to afford. Second one's pretty bad. And then 7.8 to 12 is not terrible. That would probably be reasonable, but we can't afford that at the moment. Okay. It is. We are at the point in paper. If I want more paper, gosh darn it, I have to make more paper makers. I can't just prove the technology for making paper. Yeah, let's tell the fisheries they can all accept another thing of fishing tools. Hopefully we recover from this pandemic. 1.5k sick is quite a bit. Do not have that many beds in the town, I believe. Nope, there we go. Title unlocked. This is the first time we got this title. Congratulations, during the right. So the Great. Next playthrough. So this is, I think, one for having 8,000 people. Double check quickly the titles. Have 8,000 people. Have the happiness of the plebs at 100%. Cool. Provides extra happiness in cities you run it on. Nope. Texman. Or Texmari. Master of the Sithland Mines has passed away. Okay, so we'll just replace him. Most likely he's going to replace the Dondorian. That would be fine. So the Dondorians, I can just smash the replace button on. It'll be fine. I need to be a little bit careful when I see one of the Cretonians, humans, or Mivian nobles dying to make sure we still have a noble of that type. And of course I need more housing. So where are our housing problems specifically? Okay, so we got good up north. That's good. That area is good, that area is good. Wait. I have a shortage of housing, but I have no homeless. That mental math is not checking out there, but okay. I think we still have that emergency happiness bonus. Yeah, we still have the event emergency happiness bonus, so that's gonna go away. So I should not get too happy about having high happiness for the moment. Yeah, I suppose if I want many more Mivians, I might have to actually start breeding them. Oof, we must be in the middle of a death wave. The number of healthy people sick people is going down very rapidly. And the number of corpses is going up real high. Okay, so it looks like the graveyards are either hard to be full, the mass graves, or soon to be full. What about the normal grave sites? Okay, the remaining sites are all claimed. Yes, we're at the point where I need more burial facilities. One way or the other. Do with a little bit more crypt. I already have a carpet over here. Although I still probably want another one over here. I'll put this one over here. Like so. Don't think that would be a terrible place for one either. We'll put one there. We do apparently need more mass graves and more... Well, the crypts, well, the graveyards, they're happy with the number. The crypts, they want a little bit more, and then we just need more graves to deal with the pandemic. Let's get those graves built and we'll see if that helps deal with the number of corpses we've got out and about. The pandemic isn't over. The number of sick people is growing once again. Although it is lower than it used to be, so it might be on the way down instead of the way up. Hopefully once they get those new grave sites dug, we'll solve the corpse problem. How much do I need for a health bonus from knowledge? That's 20 each. Well, 20 to start. Master Masons. Again, we just match the replace here and be good. Oh, that's been helpful. And a happiness bonus. So we got it for a day and a bit. Building up the supply of food. This way, when we start to distribute it again, hopefully we'll have enough surplus in the system that we won't have problems getting delivered everywhere. Food stalls are back from 98%. Could probably just do with more restaurants everywhere, but don't want to necessarily deal with the herbs that would go along with that. Waiting for these rest homes to build. Again, we can have more people retire when that happens. We are back into positive odd drivers, so that's good to see. I'm not happy that the health hasn't recovered, although that's due to the corpses not being buried yet. Oh, we haven't finished digging all the grave sites yet. It's fair enough complaint for why the corpses aren't buried. Okay, first rest home is complete. So that means we can raise the retiree number another 80. In fact, with all the sickness, the retiree number has actually dropped. Due to some of the old people dying. I wonder if I'm actually going to be able to get enough Dondorians to retire of old age. That might be a concern. Might not have the population demographics to actually support that. Okay, so the happiness bonus just wore off. Oh, that's not good. Well, we're saying no. Glorious Nation of Blastenstan. Okay, so their original sort of super mega eastward nation. Your army isn't that terrifying. Go marching through them. Ran into that problem last stream where our army decided to take a shortcut through someone they really shouldn't have. Oh, they got two armies. The second army is a little bit more scary. And there's an argument there that we should start trying to do some international diplomacy. So I need to actually build an embassy. But I can move with the army and build the army up, and I'm thinking... And I start thinking about what we'd actually need to get army-wise, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's viable. Due to the internal strife, the realm has collapsed. Okay, we're still gonna take the speed down to 0 and finish what I'm working on, but we're gonna try to take advantage of that, obviously. Yeah, so is it the same? It's the same shape if I'm doing that. Okay, I think I can make that work the way I want it to. I'm one farther up than I meant. Oops, daisy. Okay, Okay, so that'll house 40 employees. The only question is, can I get enough knickknacks and carpets in to make everyone happy? This building. Yes, actually too many, to be fair. If I had a little bit more workstation. 45, 50, okay. For symmetry, I'm going to do that. But that's more than we need. Okay. I'll do 50 of those. Get that queued for construction. Having some emissaries, again, I think will be good on our national protection. Of course, they collapse, but they only collapse all the territory that was actually not adjacent to us. Okay, so we won't be able to take advantage of that right away. Although, that should go hand in hand with their army shrinking. Although maybe not by very much. Yeah, they lost about a quarter of their, or 20% of their country. So we expect their army to shrink, but if that's going to be enough is a different question. So as we're waiting for that to build, let's do another pass on the janitors, make sure the janitors are keeping up. Okay, so that's not good, because they just declared on us. We're at a state of war with them. I'm surprised after that shrink that they can sustain their army. One thing we do have going for us is a well-trained army. I think it is smaller than the army we're going to be facing. And they're also going to go fight the non-aligned. We'll see if we can actually come out of this war in a successful position. Honestly, I don't think there's any legitimate chance that I'm going to be able to take on 5,000 guys. So if we actually have to fight that 5,000, we're going to have a problem. Okay, so we have another retirement home, so we can raise the retiree rate. Yeah, about there. And we're going to keep building rest homes. Yeah, something like something like that. Actually, put another one. Yeah, we'll do 3 at a time. Put one there. Street in the middle will be a bit small, but. I don't think our embassy is completed yet. No, not yet. Oh, and that's going to require paper. That's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Because the construction workers are going to have to sort of nick it from the administration for the administration uses it. Okay, we're going to have a field battle here. That's probably going to decide whether or not this is a successful war or not. So we're outnumbered, so obviously we need to take physical command on the field of battle. We'll figure out how much our stuff goes. Just got a Twitch shout out, putting a chat in. Yo, just got this game. What race should I do for my first world after finishing the tutorial? That's very much up to you. It depends on how fancy you want to get. The good old-fashioned that people tend to recommend is you do humans. Do bread farming. So grain into bread, human run. And that works most of the time. But yeah, most of them are viable options. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do for your first run. Do you want to deploy that wide? Yeah, we'll deploy that wide. We got a cavalry here. We'll deploy on the flank. Yeah, this is a fairly large battle. This is probably going to determine whether or not we actually continue this run or not. Because this is a situation where if we lose this battle, and they don't negotiate peace, we're gonna basically backslide so severely. I think it's worth starting a new run. But yeah, we made it up to 8K, so good run regardless. So we're gonna start. We're gonna. Actually, no, we'll move a little bit like that. I need to run the artillery down before the artillery becomes a problem. The cav. So we've got better training. They have slightly better equipment, but we got better training, and they also outnumber us. So the concern here is that I'm not able to make up for the quantity with quality of soldiery. Praise be to the Don, says Twitch chat. Hopefully our gleaming golden armor here and 73% melee training is enough to guarantee the success of the army here. Okay, looks like we might be able to charge the enemy's artillery before they begin the main engagement. The cavalry, well, the cavalry may be the deciding force. If we get rid of the artillery and then break a couple of their units with rear charging, we might be able to get a success here. Here comes in the next volley of artillery. Okay, it looks like a miss, which is good for us. Is combat turn-based or what? I've only seen it in the trailer. No, combat is pausable real-time. So, for example, I've just hit 1 and swapped to pause, and we got a couple different adjustments on the speed up here. Okay, looks like they haven't appreciated my cav hitting their catapult, so let's try to not get engaged there. Here comes the enemy's charge. The enemy feels good about their situation due to their superior numbers. Well, these are Garmithi, so these are the insectoids. Not the lizardmen. There's a couple lizardmen units in here. It's mostly Garmithi. Whereas we're running the army is actually a mix of humans, Dondorians, and Crotonians. We have some Amivian lizardmen in the city. Vile bug demons. Twitch chat changes too. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to get caught between them. Cavalry unit can get loose. How many hours do I have? Well, that's a good question. I'll check on Steam after we're done with this battle. I think this is the second major city that I have recorded on stream. This is probably actually the biggest city I've had. Okay, so all the forces are committed. Now we see which group loses morale first. I'm hoping to try to get this unit in the middle here to break. Causing that unit there on the end to feel surrounded. Obviously causing the one in the middle that we got caught between two lines to be feel surrounded. We have slightly better equipment than us, and they have slightly more people than us at 500 or 1,500 or 1,000 or so. Although we're much better trained. They're around 33% training. We're at 73, which is the best you can probably get with the regional troops. Also, my people are running full metal armor. They've got a mix of metal and leather armor. Injured on that unit. So yeah, definitely the higher melee training is meaning most of our units are coming off with less injuries than theirs. Speed up a little bit, because we're sort of waiting for something to happen. What we're hoping right now is that it's something good, not something bad. Slowly driving their right back with our left. Oh, we got an enemy unit breaking. So you can see up on the mini-map, the yellow dots are guys whose morale is broken. begun to flee the battlefield. Speed up again a little bit. Don't necessarily like that we have our cavalry unit fighting too at the moment here, but... the big unit just broke. Okay, at this point I think we have a numerical advantage, although not by very many. Actually got 5 blocks of enemy units still in here. That's where their 8,000s or 800 still ready to fight units are. Okay, still keeping our men moving around. I'm gonna try to flank these guys in here. Sort of get them trapped, so you can get them to give up that way. Another one of the enemy units just broke down to 600. At this point, we outnumber what remains. core cavalry force. We're definitely not getting off of this with with a small number of casualties. It's a pretty large number of casualties. It will be a victorious battle. Okay, then we got units breaking in here. Nope, we broke the batch in there. Good to see. Oops. Small one, I'd like to deploy it like so. That one, actually do that maneuver for the moment. We get you over there. $272 enemies still hold. That's 181 of them, so that's the biggest group of remainders. Nope, that group broke as well. There we go. Enemy has routed. 1,520 enemy have been killed, injured, or routed from the field of battle, and we have only 172 casualties to show for it. So, fairly good showing there. And we are chivalrous in this run, so we will release the prisoners, although we will loot the army for all of its equipment. 304 rations, 40 units of furniture, 600 units of clothing, all their gear get shipped back to town. I think that's where we'll put the part break in. Obviously, we're going to have our army probably march to lay siege to the town they've taken from us, and then sort of continue marching down here. We're a little worried because they had a larger army over in the east that was heading down to lay siege to this stuff down here. Hopefully we can negotiate some sort of ceasefire before that army comes back. In the meantime, let me respond to Twitch chat's question. How long have I been playing the game for? So I have played Songs of Six on Steam for 154 hours, it says. So it's not the game I've played the most on the channel. That's probably Shadow Empire. And then off the channel, I've played like Victoria 3 and European Universalis more. Although I think European Universalis only has like one run on the channel at the moment. So yeah, this is a game I've... To be fair, I've actually probably at this point played more on stream than I have off stream. Trying to figure out what the numbers I have for European Universalis is. No, it's under E, not U. Help if I'm trying to find it. 3,000 something hours in European Universalis. So yeah, not the game I've played the most, but it's probably the game I've played the most. Or one of the games I've played the most on stream. With Shadow Empire probably the only one that's more. So yeah, I hope everyone has been enjoying. We're not going to stop here. The stream will continue. We're going to record probably another 2 to 3 parts tonight, unless we're completely rendered unable to defend ourselves because they've destroyed our army or something. Again, we know these guys have another army of like 5,000 that we're going off to face down here that we can't see in the Fog of War. So we'll see if we can negotiate a peace before we have to fight that army, because I don't think we can fight that army. That was a winnable fight, but we lost. We were over 1,000. We lost like 20% of our army fighting something 50% bigger than us. If you're outnumbered 5 to 1, I don't think that is a winnable fight. But yeah, I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea, and also try to get the Twitch ads out of the way while I'm taking that break. So hopefully we'll be back by the time the ads are clear. So until the next bit, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Get you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.